So I recently found out that National Entrepreneurship Month was a thing. And it's in November. So I thought it'd be really cool to do a YouTube challenge I'm calling 7 days to build that business. And what it looks like is me showing up here on YouTube for 7 days with very specific actionable steps on how to fine-tune your sales and marketing and create a business from scratch in less than a month. I'm calling this the 7 days to build that business, but it's really more like a sales and marketing 101 class to really help you guide you through this journey if it's something that you decide to do. To keep you organized, I've also created a checklist down below in the description. Click on the link and you'll get it straight to your inbox. And that way you can map out the rest of the week with me and have something to hold yourself accountable throughout this journey. And I think that you'll get a lot of benefit from this. So please make sure to subscribe to this channel and follow along for the 7 days. Hopefully stick around and maybe we can help each other grow and succeed. Here's a quick summary of everything that we are gonna be covering for the next 7 days. Today is day 1. We're gonna talk about your business idea and your brand's identity. Day 2, we're gonna go over the business model and how you're gonna make money in the business. Day 3, it's all about creating a lead generation funnel and sales strategy so that you can start getting leads right away. Day 4, we're gonna map out your entire customer's journey so that you know where they're at and you can be in the right place with them. Day 5, we're gonna write out your entire sales process and we're gonna have a sales pitch by the end of the day. Day 6, we're gonna create an entire 90-day content marketing strategy so that you're not stuck trying to create content left and right while you're trying to build the business. And day 7, we're gonna talk about the software and the tools that you're gonna need to manage the day-to-day of the business. And I'm gonna emphasize free tools, especially since we are starting out. So be sure to stick around for the entire series to get some really actionable steps that are gonna help you throughout the journey. So let's jump in. Today, I really want to talk about creating the business idea and your identity as a business. I think that this is going to guide you throughout every step of the process. And a lot of people can't articulate what their business does, who they're trying to help, what problem they're trying to solve. There's a lot of stuff out there to help you with this, but I think a lot of it just gets way too overcomplicated. And if you're anything like me, I spent a good 2 or 3 months trying to think about what kind of business I could create. I knew I wanted to do something, but I kept talking myself out of it. And ironically, the idea that I have now is the same idea that I had 2 months ago, but I was too chicken to actually move forward with the steps. And I kept trying to talk myself out of it and I was overthinking. So today, the whole goal is to not overthink the process and really listen to your heart, really listen to your life's purpose. It's really hard to put those into words, but I hope that this can help. And you can treat this like a journal exercise because that's kind of what it is. Take some time, get into a room by yourself, no distractions, and just write out all the things that you want, all the dreams, all the hopes, everything. I know that sounds really overwhelming, but I'm gonna break it down for you in 3 simple steps. So step number 1 in the process is list out all the things that you like. I want you to stop and list out some of your hobbies. For hobbies, think things like fashion, makeup, skincare. What are the things that you gravitate towards, like on your TikTok feed? What are things, maybe you're not doing them right now, but you really love tennis and you need to get back into playing tennis. Next, I want you to think about strengths. I want you to think about what you would put on a resume, or if you were to go into a job interview and they ask you, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Maybe this is something that your boss has told you or a member of your team at work. So really think hard about what is it that you do at work? What kind of experience do you have in your corporate, in your day-to-day job? You may hate your day-to-day job, but at least there's something in there that you're really good at. And lastly, general skills. These are more like the soft skills that if you were to ask your friends and family, they would probably tell you these. So think organization. Maybe you really like building connections and you're extroverted and you have close relationships with people. Or maybe you're just like a numbers person. You're really analytical and technical in the way that you think. And that could be a skill set that you could leverage in creating a business. Number 2, list out all the things that you care deeply about. Now, a lot of times people say to create a business, you need to solve a problem. And this is the same thing, but said differently. And I hope that it resonates differently for you, because when I think of solving a problem, I'm over here thinking something that's gonna go on Shark Tank. It doesn't have to be like that. First is think about some causes that you care deeply about. Maybe you volunteered or donated or things like that. These are along the lines of animals, children, climate change. I also want you to think about passions. Are there any passions that you love doing? When you do the task, you kind of zone out the rest of the world and you just focus on that. What is that to you? And number 3, think about beliefs that you have that you spend a lot of time thinking about. So when certain things come up about it, you have a lot to say about it. Think about things like maybe your industry is really male dominated and it's a boys club. Maybe the industry that you're in is really complicated, or it's very hard for people to understand, like finance, right? And you want to be able to simplify that for people. For me, it's female empowerment. So I really want to make sure I'm emphasizing that in my delivery or in the businesses that I'm working with, okay? So this may take you a little bit of time. So you're gonna have a list of all the things that you like your hobbies, your strengths, your skills, and the other side is gonna be things that you care deeply about, like passions and causes and important topics that really matter to you and make your life mean something and have a purpose. That's kind of the point of this. We want to merge the things that we're really good at, our strengths, with something that matters to us so much that it gives us a meaning to our life. It gives a meaning and a story to the business. You could say like, yeah, I like writing, so I'm gonna write a book about what, right? What is it that you care deeply about and what matters to you in this world that you're gonna write a book about? But then I just want you to start playing around with combinations of this. And you'll find that a lot of the time, what we care deeply about is something we call the target audience, which means that this is the group of people, and it's kind of a broad way to look at it, but it's gonna be the group of people that you're speaking to in your business or that you're helping within the business, okay? But the last part of this that we really need to focus on is this realistic? We could have an idea like we love music, but what are we gonna do with music? Are we really gonna go and create a band? Probably not. So is this realistic? Number 1, can you make money off of this? Easiest way to do this is to go online and see if there are any other people doing the same thing that you want to do. If it's a very saturated market, it's probably a good sign that there's some money involved there. Trust me, I had to come up with this the hard way, but you're never gonna have an original idea in this world of social media and content creation. And especially with now AI coming into the mix, your idea is never gonna be original. Sorry to tell you that. You're gonna be in a saturated market no matter where you are, but it's how we talk about the things that we care about and the things that matter to us and the things that we're solving problems for. The stories, the connection, that part of it is what makes you you and makes you different. So don't try to come up with some crazy, unique idea that's never been done before, because you're not gonna create the next Google, probably. I mean, maybe you are. That would be awesome. I just want us to think a little bit more simply than that so that we stop overthinking and just get to action. The other thing I want you to think about is once you see how many people are doing this out on social media, check and make sure that you don't need a degree for this or some type of special accreditation or certification. And if you do, is that realistic? Can you go and get that done? Like maybe it's therapy or something and you do need to be specialized in that. The last part of this is once you have all these combinations, is this realistic? Can you make money off of it? Are people doing the same thing? And can I start right away? Or is it gonna take a couple years of getting a degree under my belt or something like that? When I talked about the target audience earlier, I do want you to think, what group are we gonna be helping? That's where we are creating greater purpose for the business. That's where we're creating the mission behind what's driving us. And that's how people are gonna connect to you. In our saturated world, if you're able to tell people and show that you have a purpose and some of their money is gonna go to a cause that they also care about, and you can match your belief systems together, that is really powerful. There are so many businesses out there now that are just spewing out like valuable educational content. That's like what everyone keeps saying. But if you're able to build a connection with someone and really make them feel like you care about the same thing they care about, that's gold. And that's kind of the purpose here today, is we want to take all the things that we like. Yeah, you want to like your job and everything, but you also want a job that matters, that means something. So that's really important. A couple things I also want us to keep in mind as we are going through this process. Once you've got a combination of something that you like or you're good at and what matters to you most, you're gonna have a nice little phrase that you can use. I have over 10 years of experience in account management and client management within sales and marketing. So for me, what that looks like is using my strengths to tap into the marketing industry and help amplify companies that have female founders or have a sustainability angle to them, or they have a wellness mission. So what I've kind of bundled that up into is mission-driven brands, because to me, if you are a business who knows you're trying to make the world a better place, that's who I want to work with. If you believe in the same things that I believe in, those are the people that I want to do marketing for. I want to help them with their sales. I want to help them grow and become bigger and better so that they can make the world a better place, that they can reach more people and see a difference. When I say that though, that is a broad target audience, right? And when I'm speaking to people online, I do need to have a specific person that I'm talking to. That's your niche. But there's a lot of different ways that you can create a niche within the idea that you have. And here are a few things to keep in mind to kind of help you along that route. You can niche down your industry. If I'm a marketing agency and I'm really into fitness and health, maybe I work with gyms only, or personal trainers, or sports teams. Maybe it's children's sports. Maybe it's wellness centers. There's so many different routes that I could go. And you could take it that granular and say that this is the type of person that I'm gonna work with. These are the only businesses that I will work with, right? You can also think about working sustainability. You could go the route of sustainable clothing, sustainable products, makeup. Like there's so many routes to go to, and that's what we mean by the niche. The target audience is gonna be businesses that talk about wellness and believe in wellness, and they are a wellness company. But then when you get deeper into it, the niche is gonna be the supplements or the clothing. Maybe it's business type. Are you talking to businesses that are selling direct to consumer? Are you talking about businesses that sell to other businesses? It's gonna have a very different feel in how you approach things. My advice is to start out a little bit more broad, because when you are just starting out and you haven't even made a sale yet, you just want to get an idea so that you in your head can really know how to talk about this, how to sell it. And once you get that first sale or you talk to people within that ideal industry, you're going to start to be able to pick up and understand what is it that you should specialize in. Because maybe, for example, I'm going to go out and talk to businesses, and I realize that they all need help with their content marketing, like really, really bad. And that's the main focus. Well, I can really focus on that after, but I really want to make sure that there's maybe one or two things that I know I'm really good at that could basically become the product that I'm selling. So once we have the business idea and we have our mission for the company, the most important thing after that is to figure out how you want people to feel when they come across you. When they come across your face on social media, on the website, or when they work with you personally. What do you want them to feel? And the easiest way I can say this is think about yourself and the kind of personality that you have. We call this the tone and voice of the brand, but let's be real. How many brands do you actually follow on Instagram and TikTok? Not very many. But if you follow somebody who runs the business, they are the face of that company. And whether we like it or not, we need to attach a person's face to a logo. We can't just put our logo out there and then start creating like Canva templates and posting that on our Instagram and hoping that we're gonna, increase our following. We need to actually be talking to them. We need to be connecting with them. That mission, those belief systems that we talked about earlier, they really need to be a part of the full story. So when we look at the tone and the voice of your company, think about your personality. For example, I love the aesthetics that I see online that are, super calming and wellness, and they're very like beige. I'm a millennial, okay? So I really like the beige color, but I'm not very beige. Like I like the gold, I'm very girly, but my personality is strong. I am loud, I talk a lot. My voice when I'm on video is not gonna be soft and quiet and slow. It's gonna be fast, energetic, upbeat. And that's kind of the message that I want my brands to embody. And Treya Digital is a digital marketing company, so I want to be a little bit more bold. I want to be a little more in your face, and I want to stand out. Those are all things that I was thinking of when I kind of created that idea. Do I want to sound super polished and professional? Maybe if you're working with accountants and you're in the financial or the legal sector, maybe that's important to you. Maybe I wanna be a little bit more calming, like yoga and spiritual, right? That's gonna have a very different feel to it than a bold, upbeat, creative marketing agency. So I want you to think about those buckets. And if you can closely connect your face to it, unless you decide you're not gonna make any video content ever and you're not gonna show your face and this company has no connection to you as a person, which I highly do not recommend, but I do think it's easier to make it look like you, make it feel like you, because you want it to be all cohesive. At this point, I do recommend taking all the information that you learned today about yourself, and this is where you can come up with the color scheme, the website design, the logo for your business, and even a name, because you at this point kind of have a feeling, a direction that you want to move towards. And you want everything to have a deep-rooted, cohesive vibe, right? So we don't want to just pick a website design that looks pretty or colors that just look cool. You want to pick something that tells the story that you're trying to sell to people. All of this needs to happen after you come up with the mission of the brand and the voice of the company. And I really, really hope that helped you. Tomorrow, when we talk about the business model, it's all about how are we gonna make money? We're gonna start thinking about different revenue streams and how we're gonna maintain profitability in those first 90 days, because we gotta test some stuff out. We gotta figure out if this is viable, and we gotta see if we can make a profit with this. So please stay tuned for tomorrow's video. And if you are interested, again, download the checklist down below to kind of help keep you organized and see what the rest of the week looks like. All right, thank you so much. I hope to see you again and talk to you next time.